Dance now! Oops, wrong video. Doreen, this is not TikTok, and don't give the Chinese reason to believe you're in dire need of colonization and don't know how to behave. I'm Doreen Ellen Veldotan, and I want to share with you an important lesson that I learned in life, and maybe it can make somebody else's road a little bit shorter. When I was about 30 years old, I was having some serious problems that were also affecting people that I loved, and I went and I asked what I thought were the right people for help, and they didn't respond to my request for help, and I didn't understand why. I reached out and was doing all of the right things according to what I had been told that you do under such circumstances, and nothing was happening. And things continued to get worse, and I had years and years and years of not only not getting help from the people that I thought it was their job to help, but running afoul of them and having to extricate myself from legal situations, and it got very, very tangled and very ugly. And my mistake was thinking that somebody else was going to save me from me. When I first saw that Robert Kennedy Jr., who I think is a very decent person, was working in social activism, I thought to myself, wow, we've got a Kennedy on our team. Certainly things are going to change. They didn't. And I'm watching Robert Kennedy Jr. day after day after day on Twitter, saying all the right things and not getting the right responses. And then Trump became president, and I said to myself, wow, Donald Trump, he's so rich and he's so charismatic and he's so well connected, and him together with his friends in the Kennedy family, boy, they're going to straighten out the whole world for us. Everything's going to be great, you know. And the man did his level best. And like me, I saw him wind up, trussed up like a turkey in all kinds of tangle. I said to myself, wow, that happened to Donald Trump. And then Elon Musk takes over Twitter. And despite the fact that Elon Musk gets some of his resources from Africa, and the way in which those resources are mined may compromise people, I think that he's a basically good person. And I think that he means well. And he was said to be the richest person in the whole wide world, and his first company to break through the $1 trillion glass ceiling, you know, and it's worth $200 billion, and woo, he's going to change the whole world. And then I hear that he's being sued for arrears in paying his rent by UK. And just this evening, a couple of hours ago, I came across a story on Twitter about a judge, I believe it's in Nevada. Find the link and put it in the description to this video, if I can find it. I hope so, yeah. I mean, I know it's on Twitter. I hope that I can find the article. And this judge had, at the time, a 16-year-old daughter who went to work in a store, and she had reason to believe that the store was trafficking her daughter for prostitution. So she went to the police and asked them to check out the situation, and she got no response. So she then turned to another body for help, and the judicial system in her state accused her of some kind of illegality in the way she was handling things, and in disgrace she had to step down. And I hear now that she committed suicide. Young woman. I guess her daughter is must be 17, maybe 18 by now. And now whatever kinds of problems she may have had then, if indeed she was being trafficked, now she doesn't have her mother around at all either. And I looked deeply into my own personal experience, and seeing people who I should think have the kind of power to be able to command the kinds of responses to their requests that they expect, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work if they are demanding justice. Isn't that interesting? Why? Because I've said before, and I probably will have to say again, nobody can save you from you but you. Nobody. The circumstances of our lives are that which we are projecting onto the silver screen of our lives. All of the actors in that drama are the characters that we have within. It looks like they're without, but they're not. They're being projected from within. And we have to work on ourselves. I see so many people making the same mistake that I did, blaming everybody else. Excuse me, it's a little bit chilly and I have a little bit of a cough. I also blamed everybody. It's the capitalists, it's the Vatican, it's everybody but me. I see people doing the same thing online all the time. The blacks are blaming the whites, and the whites are blaming the immigrants, and everybody is blaming the Jews, and the Jews are blaming everybody, and the Christians are blaming the non-believers, and everybody has their pet they. So let me give you a little bit of an insight about what you're actually saying when you say they. The Hebrew word for they is hem. Hey mem sofit. Can also be he non so fit if it's only in the feminine, but in most cases we're talking about a generalized them that are male, female, unaffiliated, whatever it is. And that he mem so fit is the same as Aleph Daled Mem Sofit, which is Adam. So every time you're saying they, you are saying Adam. In other words, you're including yourself in it. There is no such thing as talking about others in the purely third person. You're always included in that. And they're always included in you. And we cannot battle that which is vexing us, hurting us, disappointing us externally, because those are the projections. It's as true for me and you as it is for we see Robert Kennedy can't do it, Donald Trump can't do it, and the whole Trump family, right? And Elon Musk can't do it, and even a sitting judge can't do it. Nobody, but nobody, can deal with the lack of peace in their world by turning outward. The work has to be within. Someone asked me, how do I begin? The best way to begin is to turn to God and ask for help. What do we do? Help. And I mean God. No junior partners, no unholy ghosts, no images, none of your conceptualizations and conditions that you put on God. Just say help. And that help will be forthcoming. Chances are one of the things that's going to happen is that you're going to come up, you're going to encounter some people who have learned that way. There are many Buddhists who have devoted themselves to that. There are, again, many Stoics who have devoted themselves to that. Learning themselves and learning the internal disciplines that we have to take to be able to learn how to peacefully choreograph all of the myriad personalities and shadows and impulses and influences that we have within us. We all have to deal individually with the myriad internal impulses and that which is acting on us from within. We all have a long, long genetic legacy, and we have to make peace with that. We have to confront that. And it's lifelong work. We know we are succeeding when we see abiding peace in our worlds. The government exists, you could see it, you hear about it, but it doesn't impinge on you. The people that were troubling you, you've distanced from yourself. You're no longer creating unhappiness for others. You're not creating chaos anymore. And those who are creating chaos in your life are no longer in your life. The weather is consistently pleasant around you. You don't have debts. You don't have addictions. There's no violence in your life. Most of the time there's an atmosphere of quiet. That's how you know that you have mastered yourself. Nobody will ever be able to save you but you. Because even if somebody were to come from without and try to save you, you know, the guy shows up on that white donkey after all, I guarantee you won't accept that help. You'll do something to sabotage yourself. They'll say, no, you're not the real Mashiach. Listen, I right about now, like, you know, I need a beer. Whatever. Don't bother me now. Just had another fight with my girlfriend, and like I'm not in the right head for like being saved right now. Nobody can come into your life and save you. You've got to do this. And you've got to turn to God and say, okay, I'm ready. I've tried everything. It hasn't worked. One of the things that I can suggest to you is to get over the soap opera addiction. Breaking news. But they don't give you the whole story. And in the next episode, in the next edition, we're going to learn that, and the next edition comes, and it doesn't give you the whole story either. And you're always being led by the nose. You're always being entranced by some kind of hope that never seems to pan out. We need to get over the addiction to liking to see other people that we think are the bad guys fail. Right? So you hear about this one and that one getting into trouble, and they have problems, you know, and this actor punched that actor and the other actor shot the actor, and you know, and wow, you know, all the, you know, what's the next thing, you know, to tune into? Got to get rid of that addiction altogether and just do very healthy, real, simple things in your world. The addiction that I'm gonna do something that's gonna save the world too. You know, I'm gonna write that book, and that book is going to change the way everybody thinks. I'm going to become a congresswoman in my district, and I'm going to change this whole district. All of these ways of thinking are purely illusory. It's just not happening that way. You're much better off, and you're much more productive, and you're doing something much more important than writing a book about this political thing, that political thing, this medical, ethical like travesty. And you're much better off just like going into your kitchen and making organic granola. That's real. The illusions of these people that have these jobs where like they're professional society fixers, and somehow society isn't getting fixed. Professional society fixers want to fix society as much as professional doctors want everybody to be permanently healthy. Learn to recognize the BS. Don't let it entrance you. Don't let it addict you. Don't let it rivet your attention. Keep your attention focused on improving your personality characteristics, doing what's right in the situation that's presented to you, to do the best with that. Be a simple person. I can't tell you how important that is. Be a simple person. Look at somebody like Elon Musk. He is spread too far, and his empire is crumbling by the billions. We see politicians quitting because of burnout. They can't handle it. You cannot save the world, and nobody else can save your world. Each one of us has to do our own internal work. When we have achieved a certain level of proficiency at that internal work, we can then go to other people and say, you know what, the way to make your world better is by doing internal work. I am now doing as much for you as I ever can, as I'll ever be able to. I am telling you that you are your own savior. Nobody else. Thank you for listening.